Quest End Dragon Bourbon. This is sherry and smoked bourbon cask finished. I'm not sure if smoked means peated or if that just means like mesquite smoke or what exactly is going on there, but I just saw that it says smoked bourbon. This is coming in at 54% ABV or 108 proof, and this is brought to you guys by my buddy Rowdy. Shout out to Rowdy, appreciate it as always, man. Let's get into the nose here, see what's going on. What the heck? The first thing that really hits the nose is metalliciness. That sherry is starting to come forward a little bit more though, as well as a little bit of peanut and vanilla. This is a very surprisingly light nose for how decently proofed it is. I wouldn't say it's high proof, but it's not low proof either. It's actually right in my perfection range of proof. One thing I will say is that these Quest End bottles tend to be kind of gimmicky. They're super like D&D related. They're crazy overpriced. They go for $150 retail. They are really cool bottles, like the actual bottles itself and the packaging and everything it comes with. But generally from what I've had, and I've had like 3 or 4 different kinds from Rowdy, generally they're definitely not worth that price range. But definitely very cool collector's bottles. Definitely just a very basic bourbon nose. I've kind of acclimated to the smoke. The sherry is still there, but it's kind of in the background. Let's check out the palate though. Maybe there's a little more going on there. So I definitely pick up the sherry. I feel like I can get a little bit of the char from the smoked bourbon barrel. It's definitely not something that like jumps out of the glass. I get a pretty decent amount of anise on the palate, which is pretty nice. That's generally a note that I really enjoy. Yeah, it's just nothing crazy. It kind of reminds me of Blood Oath as far as like the price per value goes. But let's add a couple spritz of water here and see if that maybe livens it up a little bit. I feel like everything just took a major setback here. Kind of reminds me of like a low proof Heaven Hill product. There's like a light wood note in there and a light peanut note, but really there is not much going on after the water, at least on the nose. Let's check the palate, see if it falls through. The sweetness actually kicked up quite a bit. I wouldn't say there's like a direction of that sweetness. It's just kind of a general sweetness. I would say that it does help a lot though, especially with how unimpactful the rest of the notes in this whiskey are. I definitely like this more with water, but again, even with water, I feel like this is like $40, $50 whiskey at max. There's no way this is worth $150. I'm sure Quest End is like a smaller type of NDP or whatever they're doing. I just can't for the life of me imagine paying $150 for this, but again, it's not bad. There's just not very much going on here, especially for $150. I feel like you should really be getting an absolutely fantastic whiskey at $150, and that's just not what you're getting here.